The entire football world was busy preparing for the upcoming World Cup. Fans were analyzing squads, predicting winners, debating tactics, and creating dream scenarios for the tournament. Even content creators had already switched completely into World Cup mode. But while everyone else was focused on national teams, two clubs decided this was the perfect moment to start playing FIFA Career Mode in real life. And somehow, both of them managed to turn transfer season into absolute chaos just 10 days before the World Cup. On one side, Barcelona had already shocked fans after signing Anthony Gordon. Most people thought that would be the end of their business for at least a month. Apparently not, because since that moment, the club had become completely obsessed with Julián Álvarez. Every single day brought a new rumor. Every single hour brought more drama. And according to reports, the situation had escalated far beyond normal transfer speculation. Meanwhile, on the other side of Spain, Real Madrid were doing what Real Madrid always do, quietly preparing to improve a team that already looked terrifying. The presidential election drama around Florentino Perez was still happening, but realistically, nobody expected anything to change there. Perez leaving Madrid felt less likely than some impossible football prediction coming true. But behind the scenes, Madrid were heavily linked with multiple defenders and midfielders, trying to close deals before the World Cup could inflate player prices. And then came the biggest update. Real Madrid reportedly completed the signing of Denzel Dumfries for around $20 million through his release clause. And honestly, that price felt ridiculous. Statistically, if someone compared Dumfries directly with Trent Alexander-Arnold, the upgrade would not look massive on paper. In some areas, Trent was still clearly superior. But Madrid were not signing Dumfries for pure statistics. They were signing him for physical dominance, ball carrying, aerial strength, final third positioning, raw intensity. Those were the areas where Dumfries brought something completely different to the squad, and Madrid were not stopping there. The club had also reportedly reached personal agreement stages with Ibrahima Konaté, which meant their defensive depth was about to become even more terrifying. Suddenly, Madrid's backline looked stacked with power, athleticism, and rotation options. And the scary part, this did not even feel desperate. That was the biggest difference between Madrid and Barcelona during this transfer window. Barcelona were rushing because World Cup performances could massively increase transfer prices. Madrid were moving because they already knew exactly what profiles they wanted. Dumfries had a release clause. Konaté's situation was progressing steadily. Everything looked calculated. Everything looked controlled. Meanwhile, Barcelona's pursuit of Julián Álvarez was becoming more dramatic by the hour. Reports suggested there had already been meetings between Álvarez's camp and Atlético Madrid months earlier, where promises were allegedly made that if the project failed, the player would be allowed to leave under the right conditions. And now, that project looked shaky. Atlético had failed to fully deliver. The trophies had not arrived. The European performances had disappointed. And suddenly, Álvarez's future no longer looked secure. Barcelona believed he could become the missing piece in their attack. A forward capable of dropping deep, linking play, pressing aggressively, and still scoring consistently. Basically, the perfect modern striker for their system. Then things got even crazier. Rumors appeared claiming Álvarez's family had started exploring houses in Barcelona. Fans immediately exploded online. Some people dismissed it as nonsense. Others believed the transfer was already secretly progressing. And then came the social media drama. Álvarez's father reportedly unfollowed Atlético Madrid accounts while following Barcelona-related pages. Soon after, rumors spread that Álvarez himself had distanced his online activity from Diego Simeone's camp. Nobody knew how much of it was actually meaningful. But in football, small details become massive stories very quickly, because if the relationship between Atlético and Álvarez had genuinely started breaking down, Barcelona suddenly had real hope. Atlético would not want to keep an unhappy player long term, especially not one attracting this much attention before a World Cup, because one incredible tournament with Argentina could send Álvarez's value into another galaxy. Atlético were already demanding massive money. A strong World Cup performance could make the price completely uncontrollable. And while all this chaos continued, Barcelona still kept exploring other names as backup options. Bernardo Silva once again appeared in rumors. Every single transfer window somehow led back to Bernardo Silva and Barcelona. At this point, It felt like a yearly tradition, and honestly, the timing of all this was hilarious. The World Cup was literally days away. Most clubs should have been trying to avoid distractions. Instead, La Liga clubs decided to create enough transfer chaos to dominate headlines before a single World Cup match had even started. Real Madrid were building depth, Barcelona were chasing dreams, Atlético Madrid were fighting to keep control of their star player, and football fans, they were just sitting back and watching absolute madness unfold before the biggest tournament in the world, because somehow football always finds a way to turn transfer season into pure entertainment.